All right, cool beans. So let's get started. First, we're going to do a quick tour of Halcyon City that I made myself. I didn't pull this from anywhere, I promise.
It
I
looks
worked several
adorable.
hours on this.
It's really beautiful.
I'm
I love
proud of
it.
you.
It's
Yeah.
nice. Love it.
So
Let me
anyways,
try to get the whole city.
Your hideout is located in Crownsbrook. And I'll describe, but like, you don't have to live in Crownsbrook. That's just where the location of the hideout is, right? So these are all the different boroughs of the area. Uptown kind of leads outward to Halcyon City, to the other small districts that are away from Halcyon City, but not a part of Halcyon City. Think of them like the suburbs that kind of go all the way out until they reach the farmlands and the areas. Think of this kind of location on the western side of North America, around there. Fort Peterson is important for you guys because that's where most of the superheroes either bring the criminals, and if you notice, underneath the Fort Peterson, there is Underspire. That's where all the criminals are held, all the villains. So everyone you capture, everyone you come across is located in the Underspire. It is it is a prison that's built into the water that goes into underground, and that's where they keep all the undesirables. Silver Gardens, University Heights, Radiant Hill, all that downtown, the central area, that's like the big part of the city, like Toronto, like Vancouver, like LA, Los Angeles, like downtown, like those really big cities. That's where most of the stuff happens. University
And not
Heights
downtown, because that's a separate area.
Yeah, downtown is a separate area. That's a central downtown. Downtown's like the that's where like the nightlife is. That's where most of the mundane kind of people kind of go to work.
Oh, like the
Silver
Underbase.
Garden. Yes, the Underbase was located in downtown.
Oh, yay.
Silver Gardens is like the downtown, but for superheroes, and because it's all about superheroes, like you're gonna have these crazy buildings that reach the sky, like you have sky bases and all that stuff. That's kind of where all like the superheroes like to have their galas and like all that stuff, like the really big names. Like for example, God Might would spend most of his times in the Silver Gardens because it's very, very, very ritzy, very preppy. It's like superheroes with a lot of money, for example. Halcyon University is located in University Heights. It is also the center of all science, research, technology. That's where Volt would have gotten his powers, from University Heights. Copper Shore is the industrial district where they do a lot of the energy generation. In the future, most energy has gone green, but Copper Shore has its old infrastructure built off of warehouses that used to run off of coal, but now all of them have been transferred over to solar energy, to wind energy, but it still kept the name. So Copper Shore, that's what it's called. High Towers is the business district. That's where most of the businessmen and kind of like the nickname because all these towers kind of pierce the clouds into the sky. It's also very cyberpunk-esque how the buildings are, very futuristic. Midtown is not quite in downtown, not quite in uptown, but close, like sort of the middle class area. Dunsboro is much of the blue-collar workers that work in Copper Shore. They live in Dunsboro. Fairwood is technically in character, but Crownsbrook and Fairwood have a very rich history of sports. Like they always fight each other through sports because they have two teams from Crownsbrook and the Fairwood. Fairwood is the forest kind of leading up into Halcyon City, so there's a lot more trees, a lot more greenery there, a lot of gardens, a lot of just general plant life. Crownsbrook is very suburban. Some high-rise towers, like for example, a good example of what Crownsbrook would look like is Memphis, not quite Tokyo, but Tokyo would be like downtown, but trying to think of examples here. But like the outside of the downtown, but still pretty, there's still some high-rises and stuff, like the upper suburban area. And Halcyon Heights is just a bunch of hills up and down, very much similar to Uptown. It's just they have a different borough because they have a lot of hills. Riverside is nicknamed because it's next to the river that goes out into the ocean, and a lot of fish there. Like it's primarily a fishery district, so you'll have a lot of sushi places, a lot of crab places, and all that stuff. Any questions? Nope. Okay, I think we're good. So that's just the general area of Halcyon City. I don't know the year yet, but I'll figure it out eventually. But anyways,
20 XEX.
Yes, 20XX, something like that. We're gonna head over to, as you all teleport back to your secret hideout. Flaming Sentinel, her face scowling, looking at you all with anger in her eyes. She's staying calm now. Most of the flames around the cowl has receded, and her hands no longer burning. Chameleon, you still feel the heat around your palms as the energy had tried to, well, quite literally murder Dr. Nether not too long ago, still thrums with heat in your hands. She doesn't say much. She just looks at you all. I assume all of you are very embarrassed and looking down at your feet.
Chameleon is like on the ground, just leaning against the rails, looking at their hands and kind of like shaking really hard.
Reese has no shame. Reese did nothing wrong.
Volt's just clenching his fist, looking at the ground.
Yeah, Brightstar's kind of looking at the ground, embarrassed.
And Saros, how are you feeling about all this?
More wanting to be concerned about Chameleon, given the state that they appear to be in. However, realizing this is not the time, so also looking at the ground.
So, a few moments pass, and two more figures teleport next to you.
It's Alex and Steelhawk.
Oh, God, it's not actually Alex. Jesus. Agent Collins and Steelhawk teleportal next to you as well. Collins, still in his suit, and despite it being quite late at night, is looking quite pristine. Steelhawk, however, seems to... There's a scent of sea salt that seems to waft in as he portals in as well. Steelhawk doesn't say much, but looks towards Flaming Sentinel, and he nods, and Flaming Sentinel closes her eyes and nods as well. The both of them don't say a word, and Flaming Sentinel walks past and stops right in front of Volt, and very low voice says to you, I expect a full report on this tomorrow.
Understood.
She continues, and Steelhawk and both of them don't portal out, but decide to go to a room close by to have a conversation. Meanwhile, Collins stays there before you, and you notice he is carrying a briefcase. He presses a few buttons on the terminal behind him, and 5 chairs sprout from the ground, as well as 5 tables. Do you guys take a seat?
No.
No. I mean, I'm already sitting.
Sure.
Well said.
I'm gonna look up to, like, Saros, actually. For my seat. Like, are you not sitting?
Yeah, I guess Saros will sit.
Mild social pressure.
Very mild. Doesn't take much.
Chameleon's hyperventilating at this point.
Collins says, do you need a moment, Chameleon?
They don't say anything.
From the files, he takes out a couple... from the briefcase, he takes out a couple files, and he places them gently on the 5 tables. And with a snap of his fingers, those files open. And there you see the image of Dr. Nether and all of the workings and everything that he had done up until that point. You notice a report on a sting that they had on Dr. Nether in the warehouse of Push, until suddenly Dr. Nether disappeared in a portal to where you guys were. Collins doesn't seem angry, but his temples are pulsing quite visibly, and he's quite terse. And he says, we have been tracking a shipment of Push. It has been hitting Copper Shore and Dunsborough like the plague. We had found the supplier, Dr. Nether, and we were ready to apprehend him until he imported away. I'm going to give you a wild guess to where he ported away.
I kind of look back, yeah, at Chameleon.
You were told to stay put. This is the big leagues. Dr. Nether isn't just some shadow beast. He kind of looks down to Chameleon. You can easily dispatch. He kind of crosses his arms. Are you kids well aware of the trouble you have caused and the damage you have caused?
Reese feels like Dr. Nether was the one in danger there, but they don't say it.
And he kind of looks and he's waiting for an answer, and he's expecting an answer.
The fault is my own. I'm the one that dragged them there.
He turns his head and looks over to you.
We could have stayed, but I thought if I did this, I could prove myself to Flaming Sentinel.
He kind of takes his hands and he rubs his temples again. He moves his glasses. He takes his glasses off and rubs his eyes too, and he puts them back on. There is a process to all of this. Some of you don't even come from this planet. Be thankful that the infrastructure has been set in place so that all of you can thrive. I partly blame myself because I had vouched to Aegis to give you all the freedom. I believe it is time that there is normalcy in your lives, a routine, so that you'll know what it is to be your age, and you'll know what it means to be responsible. He takes out a tablet and he flips the page on the tablet, and the file before you flips again. You see a picture of a high school. Bright, dazzling, pristine. Samantha, you'd recognize this as Radiant High, the one you go to. And only to Volt, you would recognize this as the one you go to as well. Collins continues. I have spoken to my superiors. They are thankful that you actually had stopped Dr. Nether and are willing to give you a second chance. I believe that is the case as well. That was your first encounter with something so large. However, we cannot have you parading around town. I believe it is the right time for you to all start to go to school. Chameleon, Reese, Saros. The three of you will be enrolled in this high school. Do you have any complaints?
I want to say that it doesn't look like Chameleon's even like a little bit listening.
Okay.
Like they're really caught up in their own thing right now.
I feel like even Reese has taken note of that at this point. Reese turns back over to Saros and just kind of this time just looking for like, okay, what's happening? What do?
How does Saros respond?
Saros just kind of nods at Reese and looks at Chameleon, almost trying to tell Reese with her eyes, like, we will check on Chameleon later. We have to respond now. Whether or not Reese picks that up, that's a whole nother story.
I have no idea what
Then
that means.
Then she turns back to Collins and she says, No complaints. Question. Given that Chameleon and I especially do not look like those of us who are around here, per se, is there a way we could look closer to everyone else?
Yes. In fact, Aegis has created a new technology, especially to help integrate the younger aliens and otherworldly forces to integrate better in human society. He takes out 3 small little circlets that kind of wrap around the wrist. And he walks over and gestures to Saros. May I take your wrist, please?
Okay.
Right, so he takes your wrist and he puts on the bracelet. It latches onto your right arm, it's on specifically your right wrist, and it clings. And another one appears on your left wrist, except this time in a kind of a view of a watch, a glamour of a watch appearing. And a few moments passes, and everyone noticed that Saros' outer body is almost camouflaged by a human visage. In fact, it looks almost exactly like Saros, except if she had human skin and human hair. And you can describe yourself how your human character looks like at a later date. I don't want to impose anything on you, but
I will look up pictures right now. We good.
Yes. And he places another circlet next to Chameleon's desk, and he pockets the third one. Or actually, he puts it in one of the compartments behind him. And the compartment is like, and he says, this one is just in case one of them breaks. Now he looks at the rest of you and says, Flaming Sentinel and Steelhawk will deal with the rest. It's about like 11 right now. School starts at 6 in the school starts at 8 in the morning tomorrow. You all need rest, especially after the night that you've had. You will not be late. I will send dossiers to which classes you will be enrolled in to get you started. Make friends. Have a life. Be normal. And then maybe you'll understand the weight of what your powers are. Right now, he's trying to spread his influence over you, because he's an adult, for everyone to subtract their freak and to up their mundane.
Question, since Chameleon isn't even, like, mentally here, do I have to do that?
He is very clearly talking to everyone, and he will still try to... Well, I mean, you're not...
You might not be processing it right now, but I mean, it's not like you're not hearing it.
Yeah, you're right.
You're going to be thinking about this later, and it's still going to affect your character. But we're rolling now.
But you're more than welcome to resist it. Remember influence, if you would like. So he is trying to reduce your freak by 1 to increase your mundane by 1. You may either take that, no questions asked, or you can say, no, I'm putting my foot down, I'm going to be the way that I am.
Reese accepts
So
that. That's
Yeah,
right
I
up my
accept
alley.
it.
Right, Chameleon
Yeah.
accepts that. What about Brightstar and Volt?
I'll accept it.
Yeah, I get it.
I have a 2 mundane. If I get it to a 3, and I get another one.
If you get another one, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's
It
an
probably
issue.
won't be a problem. Probably.
Probably.
But if you remember, Flaming Sentinel despises mundane, which is about to come up.
I'll try to resist then. Let's see how that
You will
goes.
try to resist Volt. You feel like you want to stay the way that you are because you might be firm. Like, I really want to impress Flaming
Well, also,
Sentinel, and
this threatens like his identity because like we're gonna have to know who he is outside of being a superhero, and that's probably not. I'd be super anxious about that.
Yeah.
Let's see what I get. Nope.
that is a hit. And on a 9, let's see, let's double check. See that list there? When you reject someone's influence, you choose one of those things.
It's +4 against the moon.
Okay, so I go ahead and mark in your character sheets, if you notice where you have influence over, add Agent Collins there too, so you can remind yourself.
Hey,
And-
Alex, do I
What's
keep
up?
my influence to Dr. Nether? That doesn't go away.
That doesn't go away, no, until you've used it. You did not try to influence him correct last time, right?
No, I mean it gave me a bonus, but I never like did the thing where you spend it now.
Moving on. Right. And Agent Collins gives one more last sigh and says, he wants to say something, and actually, Volt, you would notice this too. This is why you'll have influence over him. He's definitely very shaken over the ordeal, and you kind of get the feeling that Collins is being told to say this to you guys. You get the feeling that he actually might be on your side on this, but his superiors are kind of forcing him to tell you guys, so that you guys would be upset at him, not his superiors, not at Aegis specifically. That's why he seems a little bit extra tense right now.
Hey, don't worry. We'll stay out of trouble this time. He smiles at Colin, trying to give some comfort.
So Collins doesn't really respond to that, but he takes one last breath. He picks up the files from the desks, and he says, "We will monitor the situation. The principal is aware and knows who you are.
All of us.
The one's important." And he turns around and he presses the teleportal, and he's gone.
Well, we have a big day tomorrow.
You're not quite done yet.
Uh,
Steelhawk and Flaming Sentinel come over. Steelhawk sees Chameleon on the ground. He takes a knee and offers a hand to Chameleon.
So, like, Steelhawk's hand will come into, like, Chameleon's line of sight, and they kind of, like, jump a bit, and their eyes go wide, and they immediately, like, fall, like, climb back through the rail behind them and, like, dash off to their room.
Steelhawk doesn't say a word. He instead follows after. He doesn't say a word to that, but he says to the rest of them, "You'll have a big day tomorrow. Rest. Clothes will be prepared. Classes will be done. You will visit the principal at 8 o'clock sharp. Everyone should be up by 0700. Once you're all ready, a portal there. And he turns over to Sam. Do you need to contact anyone, or are you going to be staying here tonight?
I'll be staying here tonight.
Yeah, he looks on the ground. He notices that you don't have a cell phone, or he doesn't have that. And he says, do you require another communication device?
I can just pick one up after school tomorrow.
Looks at it and says, and he nods. And he says, I want you all to know I am very disappointed and very angry in you all. I don't really find much use to yell. It has been a long night for me as well. Learn from this lesson. Become better. You all have responsibilities. And he continues, and we'll deal with that moment with Chameleon later. Meanwhile, Flaming Sentinel puts her hand on Volt's shoulder. Volt?
Yeah, I know.
What exactly do you know? She says to you.
About how much I fucked up?
She looks at you and raises an eyebrow. Is that how heroes speak, young man?
No, it's not. My apologies.
She's definitely speaking to Volt in earshot of all other characters there, so all three of you can hear. And Flaming Sentinel says to Volt again, I know what you did. You stood in front of him. You blocked Chameleon's strike, did you not?
Why wouldn't I?
You could have died.
Isn't that what we do as heroes? Protect life, regardless of what people have done.
You are a child, Volt. Not an adult yet. You need to think. What you did was brave, was smart. You followed a lead. However, you did not think about the consequences until too late. We are heroes. We are those above the mundane. You need to make sure that you are better than them all the time. You need to think about that. You need to hold yourself to a standard higher than everyone. You are a paragon. You all are paragons for the city and for the future. There will be a time where I will retire, Volt. One day, when you have a protege like I do, you can look at them with confidence and help the next generation like I am doing with you. And she is going to try and influence you and up your superior.
Okay.
By lowering your danger. Do you accept this influence change? Just specifically to Volt. This is
Just for
specifically
Volt.
to Volt.
I'll try to resist.
Okay, absolutely. You may go ahead and roll to resist.
Oh, yep.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Flaming Sentinel's words hits you, and they hit you very hard. You are guilty because you were not able to be responsible. All the things that she has said to you are true. And to lower your danger. Wait, no, you can't even lower your danger any more than that.
Really?
Damn. Yeah, I think -2 is the lowest you can have.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, so not only are you guilty, you're definitely insecure. So I'm going to give you those two. So, anyways, and you want to be less of a freak so that you're more superior. And instead, you just only be guilty. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So you really want to control your powers. You really want to control who you are as a person. You want to be the least danger you can be, not only to yourself and to your team, but you definitely feel very, very insecure or guilty about everything that had inspired. You blame everything on yourself, essentially. That's going to be something you'll be thinking about the whole night. Flaming Sentinel walks over to the teleportal, and she turns around and says, "Have a good night." She teleportals out. How do the rest of you respond to Volt being semi-scolded by Flaming Sentinel?
I imagine this isn't the first time this has happened. Like, him being scolded in front of us.
Actually,
because
this
that's
is
like
the
a
first
power-
time.
Oh, is it?
It is the first time.
Oh.
Flaming Sentinel has taken a back seat because it is Steelhawk's responsibility for you all. You all are familiar with Steelhawk's sort of very straight to the point, least words, only actions kind of attitude, you know? But Flaming Sentinel has not made a big appearance until now. How do you guys respond?
Brightstar would put her hand on Bolt's shoulder.
Yeah, Reese is just they're looking away. Like, this is super awkward.
I need to go.
Bolt, thank you.
No, it's fine.
Thank you for helping us.
Just wish I could do better.
You did very good. Know that you did well.
Did I?
Yes.
Bolt, you protected all of us. We didn't know what to say or do. But you did.
We'd be lost without your leadership.
I mean, I don't know. Nobody got hurt.
Reese says, matter of factly, as there's a flashback to several people getting hurt from all the debris being tossed around.
Not super bad.
Yeah, and on the
Fine.
it feels like it does feel like it's a Reese thing to say. I do feel like it is a Reese thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm just gritting my teeth at that. You guys need to get ready for school.
I guess this will be like dailies, but with less armed guards.
I'm gonna use the teleportal and head home. He just gives a wave. Enjoy your day at school, and leaves.
All right, Brightstar and Saros, do you all retire to your rooms? There are 5 rooms here, specifically for the 5 of you. Saros' room probably is the most lived in, along with Reese and Chameleon.
Mhm.
Brightstar, you only tend to have a comfy bed and a computer.
It's probably a mess, though.
Because you really clean it.
No, like, do you not know? Like, this is where she would store everything that she can't let her parents find.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
And she's used to having people clean up after her.
This is where all her yaoi is.
Yes.
God damn it.
Brightstar, other than what I've seen in shows, what should I expect tomorrow at high?
Yeah, I'm also listening in on this because I mean I'm used to daily drills and like lessons and stuff, but
It's a different kind of battlefield.
And we're gonna put a pause on that as Brightstar says that. And we're gonna head over to Steelhawk and Chameleon. Chameleon, your door is closed at this moment, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You hear on your door, Steelhawk, behind it.
They don't open it.
You hear from behind, if you do not open it, I will open it myself. I do have the codes to your room. I'm giving you the courtesy of opening the door before I do.
There's no answer.
You hear an audible sigh, and the door opens. And what are you looking like right now in your room?
Actually, Alex, with your permission, I would like to have Chameleon have gone to their sanctuary.
Yeah, I reckon that was the case. So why don't you go ahead and try doing that? Now, here's the thing. Your sanctuary is, one second, difficult to access and tied intricately to your doom.
Yeah.
Now, it is very difficult to access. So I'm going to have to make you roll your freak to see if you're able to access it.
Okay.
All
I
right.
did it.
So you are able to do it, and you are gone from this plane of existence.
I imagine I would have been kind of sloppy about it and left a portal behind me. And
Alright.
Steelhawk would walk into my room and there's just this big yawning portal to another plane there.
Yeah, with nether energy kind of seeping out of it.
Yeah.
Steelhawk gives another audible sigh and walks towards the portal without a second thought. Why don't you describe to
Alright.
me what your sanctuary looks like?
So Steelhawk kind of steps through the portal and it kind of closes behind him and winks at it as if it was never there. And he's surrounded by these dusty, crumbled marvel-like, but something's different about it. This stone building, and there's ruined bookshelves built into the walls, and these thick tomes in like an indecipherable alien language. And one of the sides of the walls is broken away, and it looks over this the scarred battlefield, and that's where Chameleon is sitting on the ground with their head in their hands. This is where they come to meditate, but right now it's not helping them.
From behind you, you hear a voice. Are you alright, Chameleon?
I almost killed him.
Yes. Yes, you did. You would have. You would have also gone to the Underspire for your actions. Are you aware of that?
No.
He kind of walks over in front of you, and he takes a seat before you. And for the first time, he takes off his helmet. And underneath his helmet, much to your surprise, isn't a human, isn't an alien, isn't anything, but is a robot. An android.
Oh.
Very clear that you can see, not even synthetic skin on his face. He looks at you and he says, I would have also gone to the Underspire. Are you familiar with who I am? And Chameleon, you recognize him. You've actually gone through several of his notes of Steelhawk's several studies, because you have been technically homeschooled this entire time.
Mhm.
And one of the first major cases is the study of a murderous android. K7. And the same face of K7 is now sitting before you, looking at you. How does Chameleon respond?
They kind of like look sideways at Steelhawk, not really like looking right at him, but like, and they say, "Why didn't you?"
I was given a chance. My previous creator programmed me to be this way. I was given a second chance. But I do not know empathy. I do not know remorse. I do not know many of these emotions humans have.
They're awful.
That is why they had set me with you. And that is why I was set with everyone else. I am not only a mentor, but I am learning. I do not know much about high school or college, or Starbucks, or video games. But I know what it feels to be one thing and no longer that thing. He looks at you and he sighs. It is tough for me sometimes, and I know it is tough for you. Chameleon, you may have been built for one thing, but that does not decide who you are. I am still very angry at what you did, and I will be keeping a much closer eye on you. That is what I am supposed to do. But I tell you this because I have learned to care. To care about my friends and colleagues and to care about the people of this team. Please do not let me down. And he is going to try and influence you to bring down your freak to up your savior, because he wants you to be better like him, like to protect rather than to destroy. Do you accept it, or do you try to stay the way you are?
Yeah, I don't think Chameleon's really in the mental space to resist stuff right now.
Okay,
so I accept
absolutely.
it.
And Steelhawk looks at you and says, I will keep this place a secret if you keep my identity a secret. Do you think we can bargain for that?
I nod.
I will leave you be, but school starts tomorrow. You will begin with calculus.
Oh god.
And he walks away. And the portal closes. And he puts on his helmet. And now the three of you are hanging out in the central hideout area. What are the three of you up to right now?
I have a question. I am aware of the event that's going to be occurring in a couple days, right?
Yes. Oh god, yes.
What event?
Okay.
Is it something you're telling us about?
Is it?
I will probably explain it.
Okay. Otherwise, Reese is flipping through their phone, both like looking up this school and like just going through Chirper and like profiling some of these students. I guess there's a lot, so it wouldn't actually get much done. And also
So
trying
you-
to
you,
think of an
um,
outfit for tomorrow.
You search up hashtag Radiant High, and it is a explosion of gold, black, and white, the colors, followed by Radiant High Knights. That is their, what's it called?
Mascot.
There's their mascot. And you notice the Radiant High football is fighting the Crown's Book Infernal Hogs tomorrow. And
Bitch.
Thank you.
Colonel.
people know what I'm talking about. But anyways,
Yeah, so
and
Well,
yeah.
you were okay. Well, just let me know when they're showing up. You know what I gotta do.
and there is a school uniform that everyone has to wear. Anyway,
Oh.
so you are forced to wear a uniform.
it's super preppy.
It is incredibly preppy.
Cool.
Okay, well that kills the outfit.
Yeah, but
Sarah's
anyway,
is
I want to get
literally-
kind of like a feel, or try to get like a feel for. Let me actually look at the basic moves here. I guess this is assess the situation.
yeah, you are more than welcome to assess the situation.
They're checking out, the school Twitter page, Twitter whatnot, Chirper.
Chirper, yeah.
They might notice a certain event about to happen.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
straight up.
Talked about.
And you kind of go through Chirper and you see a whole bunch of pictures of clothing, followed by Radiant High school dance.
Oh.
Saros is literally like going back and forth from looking over Reese's shoulder to like see the stuff coming up on Chirper to turning back to Brightstar, asking questions like, what should we expect? What's this gonna be like? Doop doop doop.
And there is a Radiant High school dance to celebrate the, pretty much it is a general affair to celebrate the creation of Radiant High itself. Is the anniversary dance that they have. And it's happening Saturday, and today is Wednesday night, so you have Thursday and Friday. But to prepare, or if you decide to go. But anyways, you get the idea that this is the type of high school that the very, 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 very rich send their kids to.
Hey, I'd also like to ask this question here on this list. Thank you for that extra information, though.
Yes. What is the question you would like to
Who
ask?
here is most vulnerable to me?
Oh, through all the Chirper pictures?
Yeah, just interpret
Okay.
that question how you like.
All right. So who here
That's
is
the one
most?
I picked.
Okay, so you go through a bunch of the pictures, and you notice kind of in the background, you see, yeah, it's a selfie, of course, of a girl taking a picture, doing like a peace sign, like, oh, just had the greatest latte, and behind them you notice a picture of two very muscular jocks beating up what appears to be a smaller, frail figure, and that figure is what appears to be another student, and on the students' jackets you see the Radiant High Tech Club.
I take a screen cap of that before it gets deleted because that's gonna get
Absolutely.
noticed.
It's like, yeah, it's like in the back. It's like it's not the main focus, but like you just see in the corner that there's someone being bullied.
Bitch, I keep my receipts.
But anyways, that's the only question you asked, correct?
Yeah, I can only ask the one.
Yep. Okay. So what else do you guys say? I don't want to like impose. Like there's a lot going on right now, so feel free to explore, RP, do whatever.
Hey
you need
Sam. Hey Sam, what's this about a dance?
It's a social gathering that is going to be happening where on Saturday night, and you'll wear something nice.
What's the purpose?
To socialize, flaunt your social status.
Is it similar
okay.
to when we were where we were earlier tonight?
Yeah, no, that's basically a club, but everyone does it once, right?
In a way, yes. Except instead of full of, adults, there's gonna be kids our age being very awkward on the dance floor.
Do you know how to dance? Wait, of course you do. Please teach me how to dance.
No, I totally got this. Dancing is basically just fighting. It's basically the same thing.
Holy shit!
You know what, Reese? You're not wrong.
One thing that Reese understands about the outside world is like pop culture. So yeah, like ideas like that.
But Saros, I would be glad to teach you.
Oh, wonderful.
And with that, as the three of you hang out, Steelhawk walks back, steps up the steps.
And I
And-
just go silent and kind of move back. Very submissively.
I mean, I look at him like I regard his existence. I don't ignore him.
He stands in front of you all. He does a very, a relaxed military pose, arms behind the back, legs spread apart. He says, "You all have went through a lot. Go to sleep. Your uniforms will be ready in the morning. You all have your classes set up before you. Sam, you'll be looking after Chameleon. You both have calculus for homeroom.
I just nod.
Reese and Saros, you both have biology for homeroom. Study up. I have written up documents for you so that you will not fall behind in your classwork. You all have been doing well. Well, almost doing well." He kind of makes a short glance over to Reese. Says, "I will no longer be teaching you. You'll be taught by the teachers at the school. They are all professionals, and they all graduated from University of Halcyon. You will treat them with respect. Stay out of trouble. You are there as students. No one will know that you have powers. I would prefer to keep it that way." Yeah, how do you guys respond?
I'm just looking away submissively.
That'll be easy until somebody tries to push me.
Yeah. And Steelhawk walks over to Samantha. "Your mother has been contacting me all night. You are to go home."
No. Please no. Please no. Please no.
"Is there a reason why you do not wish to go home?"
She kind of just looks off to the side silently.
Did you tell us at all anything about what happened? Or at least me and Saros, what
Yeah.
happened?
Oh.
Because Reese would think it's super fucked up that your mom is trying to force you to date somebody.
She probably wouldn't have said anything because teenagers don't communicate.
Yeah, everything had happened all at once. But
yeah,
did
I mean,
you
also
know?
you probably haven't had time, but that's fair.
But you
Yeah.
would know for sure that Brightstar's mother is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Hawk, if you want her to be ready for school, she probably doesn't need to do that tonight.
Steelhawk looks over to you. "You are of legal consenting age. I do not have to force you to go back home. However, in the last 10 minutes alone, I have received 622 messages from your mother."
Wait, is Brightstar 18?
No, 16 is
Just
consent
the local
and-
law to
no.
leave.
Usually, well, I'm going off Canadian law, but
Okay,
when you're
fair.
16
I'm thinking American, yeah.
no, 18 is you're an adult, but 16 is you're allowed to make actions for yourself without a legal guardian.
Okay.
If that makes
okay.
any sense.
No, I can
And
follow
in
that. I can
some-
follow that.
Yeah, in some states in the US, it's like that as well. It just depends. It's a state by state thing.
Yeah.
So in Halcyon City, if you're a 16, you for example, police will search for you and bring you home. But because Samantha is 16, she can make her own choices,
Right.
but isn't considered an adult yet. So Steelhawk looks over to you. Steelhawk says, "I am more than happy to recite them out loud if you wish."
Please no. Wait. What'd she tell you?
She is asking where you are. You are not responding. Please respond. Please respond. Please respond. It goes on for about.
Okay. I'll go make a phone call to her then.
You also have one message from your father.
What? But he's not here right now.
He is not. The message was sent from Tokyo approximately 32 minutes and 17 seconds ago.
Could you tell it to me in private, please?
I will give you the recording. And he takes out a small communication device and gives it to you. I have not listened to it. You have the right to your privacy. And he looks over to Saros and Reese. You all have a right to privacy. You get the idea that Steelhawk, although very firm and standoffish, does treat you with like with respect. Kids, but with respect.
Yeah, I don't hate Hawk. He's got a stick up his ass. But
Yeah.
he's okay.
Yeah, he definitely has a stick up his ass.
He team dad. It cool. It all
Yeah,
good.
no, he's fine. Yeah, I think we're gonna make our exit though. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
we can read the mood here. I'm gonna point at
Yeah.
Brightstar like, hey, I expect you to show me around tomorrow.
I
nod,
agree.
Wave.
I need to know where all your facilities are.
Reese, should we go check on Chameleon?
That's probably, I guess we can do that. And Reese like grabs your like wrist, not like grabs it, but like, just yep, let's go.
Okay. Now, Steelhawk walks up over to the teleportal and turns back over to Brightstar, and he says, "Remember your legacy," and teleportals away. Oof. All right, Sam, you can totally listen to the recording.
I want to listen to it.
Okay. You see the picture. Oh, you see it's a video conference call of your father. And why don't you describe your father to me, please?
He would probably be in the kind of tall, dark, handsome. You know, like the family is characteristically have dark hair,
Yes.
and of course he knows how to wear a suit.
All right. So he definitely. How old
Very
is he?
professional.
Yeah, very professional. Hair come to one side, wearing glasses, just pristine, wearing like the most expensive but fashionable clothing he can afford.
Ever so slight 5 o'clock shadow, but like in the good way.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. His exact age, I'm not too sure. I haven't thought about that too much.
Mid 40s around, or mid 30s. Would your parents
Probably
have had
mid-40s.
you? Mid 40s, yeah, it would be mid 40s. So there's some gray around the temples, but like done fashionably, like touch of gray shampoo
Very
style. You know what I mean?
gentle, fatherly
Yeah.
crow's feet.
Yeah. So, you get a message, and it pops up. He's sitting, hands on a table. There's a backdrop of Tokyo City. If it's night, it's the morning for them, right? And you see like the time and all that stuff. And the image starts, and he's not even looking at the camera. He's actually looking at several people off camera, and he's doing a couple things. And sorry, 1 second. And he looks at the camera and says, "Sam, your mother's worried about you. I know we haven't spoken very late. Wait, hold on. I'm on the call right now. Do you really need me? Sorry, Sam, I'll call you back later." And the call shuts.
Oof.
Then you're just left with that.
Just kind of sit there in silence. I guess in a way she got her hopes up and you just kind of dashed it.
Yeah.
Oof.
That is how you describe to me what your father is like, though. So, we head over to Volt. And you teleportal about a block away from your home.
Just easily and quickly
You
removing.
just walk in. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you would have a button that actually it
Oh, yeah.
goes into like a small little bag. In
Yes.
fact, it is part of your watch. It like zips right into your watch.
Finally.
All right. You go home. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and you're home. Just a simple 2-story detached with a nice lawn and a car outside. And you see through the window the television, or the giant television on in your family. Why don't you describe to me your family?
Well, his parents would probably be watching TV. He has 2 siblings,
Mhm.
boy and a girl.
Mhm.
And pretty just normal family, honestly. A lot different than his life.
You climb into. Well, do you go through the front door, or you're sneaking
No.
in?
I'm just knocking on the door.
So you kind of knock on the door. You would have keys to the home.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Is this your home?
Wait, I thought you were supposed to be in Italy.
I lied.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I just opened the door. Mama, Papa. I'm
Sorry, can you remind me what your name is again in human character?
Antonio.
Do they have a nickname for you?
No, just Antonio.
Oh,
Can
Tony.
I call him Tony?
Yeah.
Or Tony.
But well, Sam doesn't know Tony in school.
No.
Right? So, anyways.
Who's
But,
to say we
um,
haven't had a class together? I mean, we're both high
No,
performers.
actually, well, how old is Antonio?
17.
What grade, I should say?
Yeah, what grade?
Probably a junior.
Junior?
He just turned 17. Probably.
So that means Sam would also be a junior, right? Or would that make her a sophomore?
I think.
I was gonna have her as either a junior or sophomore.
Let's go with junior. So
All
you've
right.
had classes together. You've had classes together, but you have no idea. Well, actually, because Samantha doesn't have a disguise, Volt would know who Samantha is, but Samantha would not know who Antonio is.
I did take a selfie pic with Samantha without her consent. It's great.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, she just reflexes, poses
But we'll
whenever
have
someone does that.
someday.
Yeah. So, anyways, you come home and your mother is like, "Oh," and runs up and gives you a hug and says, "Your dinner is cold. You were supposed to be home 2 hours ago." And
It's all right. I got caught up with work at the internship.
says, "Oh, I don't like that internship. They always keep you late." And she goes and there is some food in the oven that she's tried to keep warm for you, and gives it to you. And just a welcoming family.
Well, it's the food that gets me through the day.
You enjoy your meal in the kitchen. Your siblings are already fast asleep. It's around this time. It's like 11:30, and it's getting pretty late. But you get the idea. Well, you would know this, but just to describe for everyone, there are just hundreds and hundreds of photos of Antonio, his siblings all around the house. When Antonio got the internship and everything, they are so proud of you. They are so very, very proud of you. And they love you to death, but you are lying to them every single day.
It just gets worse. But hey, it's better than them living in poverty, honestly.
Yes, actually, the internship pays very well. It's a paid internship. If only we had that in real life. But anyways,
Right? That'd be fantastic.
so in which case you eat your dinner, which is totally tamales, and you go to bed.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And that is the end of the first night.
Before he goes to bed, though, he probably gets a
It's a
message
text.
from the text, yeah.
The messengers you guys have right now, these are messages that you guys have communicators, right?
Do I
that was
still
one of-
have mine?
Yeah, we established that we do have
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
Those
in addition
communicators,
to
they-
our normal phones. Yeah.
those communicators are like, think of them like super high tech. The only thing that they would ever route through is the hideout itself. So it's a secure line.
Okay, so that it's untraceable. So I could send my mother a message saying I'm okay.
No, actually, well, yes, but then the thing is that your mother would then know the number of your communicator.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to block my
Volt
number.
could
you know?
actually arrange that she couldn't, hypothetically.
Very fair. Okay, so you can just send like an anonymous message. Yeah, okay, you can
Uh-huh.
totally do that.
You
guys-
just do
have
phishing
su-
and yeah,
yeah,
text.
because it is one of the things that the protege gets is like a super high tech communicator.
Yeah, everyone has a communicator, so it's very
Like, really, all you gotta do is just send her a selfie of you fighting a villain, and she'll be like, okay, well, you're doing the thing. So can't be that mad.
Well,
So
you gotta
that-
realize we were in public, and we probably have pictures already out on Chirper of us fighting.
Oh yeah, people were totally posting that shit. The people do that immediately, because superhero fights are, like, routine here.
Yes. There's actually a channel dedicated to real-time superhero fights.
Like, people
Of
flip out their
course.
phones faster than, like, if a dog jumped on a skateboard in real life. Like, it is
People
immediate.
still do that.
Yeah, I sent my mother a untraceable, a message through an untraceable line just saying that I'm okay, I'll be staying here because I have class in the morning and it'll take too long to get back home.
Have you sent it so that you can get messages back, or you just send the one message and cut the line?
I send the one message and cut the line.
Okay, there's nothing bad. But you get the feeling, Volt, you get the feeling that there's just a barrage of messages getting sent back.